Beyond the veil of forgotten worlds, ancient technologies that harvest life force from parallel dimensions where reality has ceased to exist. Dear seekers of hidden knowledge, pause for a moment and feel the subtle vibrations that surround you. In this very instant, countless realities are breathing their final breath, dissolving into the quantum foam while their accumulated energies drift like cosmic ghosts through dimensions unseen. Ancient sages understood what modern science is only beginning to glimpse, that death is merely transformation, and what appears lost forever continues to pulse with harvestable potential in the spaces between worlds. Tonight, we journey beyond the boundaries of conventional understanding to explore technologies so profound, so revolutionary that they challenge the very nature of existence itself. These are not mere mechanical devices, but consciousness interfacing systems that tap into the infinite reservoir of energies left behind by realities that have completed their cosmic dance. The quantum field reveals that every reality, upon reaching its termination point, doesn't simply vanish but undergoes a metamorphosis that transfers its accumulated life force into parallel dimensional matrices. Ancient texts from forgotten civilizations speak of this phenomenon as the Great Harvesting, where advanced beings learn to construct etheric collectors that could channel these displaced energies into their own reality streams. Modern quantum physicists are unknowingly recreating these same principles through energy harvesting technologies that exploit what they term dead zones in electromagnetic fields. But what they perceive as technological limitations are actual gateways to accessing energies from realities that have transcended physical existence. The Atlantean crystal masters understood this principle intimately, designing resonance chambers that could synchronize with the frequency signatures of dissolving timelines. When a parallel reality reaches its omega point, the moment when all possibilities within that dimensional thread have been exhausted, it releases what esoteric traditions call Thanatos energy, a concentrated essence of all experiences, emotions, and consciousness that once animated that world. This energy doesn't dissipate into nothingness. Instead, it flows along ley lines that connect all possible realities, creating rivers of harvestable potential that advanced civilizations have learned to tap. The technology operates on the principle of dimensional phase locking, where specialized crystalline matrices are attuned to the specific vibrational frequencies emitted by dying realities. These frequencies exist in a spectrum invisible to conventional instruments, but detectable by consciousness itself when properly calibrated through meditation and energetic attunement. The harvesting process requires operators who have developed what ancient mystery schools called Thanatos sight, the ability to perceive the energetic signatures of realities in their final stages of existence. This isn't mere speculation, but observable phenomenon that manifests as unexplained energy, spikes in quantum energy harvesting experiments, where researchers report exponential energy gains that seem to violate conservation laws. What they're witnessing are brief moments when their equipment accidentally synchronizes with the energy streams flowing from parallel realities that have recently concluded their existential cycles. Sacred geometry holds the key to understanding how these interdimensional energy streams can be accessed and channeled into our current reality matrix. The ancients encoded this knowledge in temple structures, stone circles, and pyramid complexes that served as massive energy harvesting installations designed to capture and redistribute the life force flowing from completed realities. The mathematical relationships discovered in these structures, the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, the Platonic solids, are not mere aesthetic choices, but functional blueprints for creating resonance with the quantum field patterns that carry Thanatos energy between dimensions. When modern energy harvesting devices achieve what researchers call exponential energy extraction through repetitive reconfigurations, they are unknowingly recreating the same geometric principles that ancient architects embedded in their megalithic constructions. The positive feedback loops that enable exponential energy growth occur because each configuration cycle briefly opens a dimensional gateway, allowing a small amount of Thanatos energy to flow through before the gateway closes. With each successive cycle, the accumulated energy creates a stronger resonance field that can attract even more potent streams from realities in more advanced stages of dissolution. This explains why certain energy harvesting experiments report voltage gains that reach extraordinary levels within just a few cycles of mechanical excitation, generating power outputs that far exceed the input energy. The researchers are unknowingly tapping into what the Vedantic texts describe as Akashic batteries, repositories of condensed consciousness energy that accumulate wherever multiple realities have completed their evolutionary journeys. These repositories exist in what quantum mechanics terms the zero-point field, but esoteric science recognizes as the primordial void from which all realities emerge and to which they eventually return. The key to accessing these energies lies in understanding that consciousness itself is the ultimate harvesting technology, capable of transcending the limitations of physical instruments to interface directly with the source codes of reality itself. The phenomenon of quantum energy teleportation, recently demonstrated in advanced laboratory experiments, reveals how consciousness can extract energy from the quantum vacuum by exploiting the entangled nature of reality itself. What scientists describe as pulling energy out of nothing is actually the conscious manipulation of energetic connections that link our current reality to its countless parallel versions, including those that have already completed their evolutionary cycles. The experimental protocols that enable this energy extraction work by creating quantum entanglement between particles in our reality and corresponding particles in adjacent dimensional layers, then using consciousness-directed measurements to collapse wave functions in ways that transfer energy across dimensional boundaries. This process mirrors the ancient practice of soul harvesting, described in Tibetan Buddhist texts, where advanced practitioners could absorb the life force of dying beings, not through physical contact, but through consciousness-based energy transfer techniques. The key insight is that what physicists call zero-point energy is not truly empty space, but rather the accumulated essence of all realities that have returned to the primordial state of pure potential. When consciousness learns to interface with this field through properly calibrated intention and awareness, it can draw upon virtually unlimited energy reserves without violating any fundamental physical laws. The energy isn't being created from nothing. It's being redirected from the vast storehouse of completed realities that exist in a state of dormant potential within the quantum substrate. Modern practitioners who develop sensitivity to these energy streams report experiences of sudden vitality surges, enhanced psychic abilities, and accelerated spiritual development, all signs that they are successfully accessing Thanatos energy from parallel dimensions. The technology for this process exists not in external devices, but within the consciousness itself, which serves as both the receptor and the processing unit for these interdimensional energy transfers. Ancient mystery schools developed elaborate training programs to activate these innate capabilities, using meditation techniques, breathwork, and consciousness-altering practices to tune human awareness to the frequency bands where Thanatos energy can be detected and harvested. The 7 energy types described in ancient wisdom traditions correspond directly to the 7 primary channels through which Thanatos energy flows from completed realities into active dimensional streams. Each type represents a different aspect of consciousness that can serve as a harvesting interface for specific varieties of interdimensional life force. The will-based energy harvesters, exemplified by the archetype of the spiritual warrior, specialize in channeling the accumulated determination and focused intention of realities that concluded through acts of supreme will and sacrifice. These practitioners can access what esoteric texts call hero energy, the crystallized essence of beings who completed their evolutionary journeys through courage, determination, and self-transcendence. The feeling-based energy types operate as emotional alchemists, capable of transmuting the accumulated love, compassion, and emotional experiences of dissolved realities into usable spiritual fuel for consciousness, expansion, and healing work. They serve as living bridges between the heart-centered energies of completed worlds and the emotional bodies of beings still engaged in the evolutionary process. The thought-based harvesters function as mental archaeologists, excavating the intellectual achievements, scientific discoveries, and philosophical insights of civilizations that have transcended physical existence. Then translating these knowledge energies into inspiration and breakthrough insights for current reality streams. Each energy type has developed specific techniques for attuning to their corresponding Thanatos energy streams, using meditation practices, ritual work, and consciousness disciplines that activate the dormant harvesting capabilities within human awareness. The most advanced practitioners learn to operate simultaneously across all 7 energy channels, becoming what the ancient texts describe as cosmic harvesters, beings capable of drawing upon the full spectrum of accumulated life force from the infinite library of completed realities that surround our current dimensional matrix. The practical technology for harvesting excess energy from dead realities operates through a synthesis of consciousness, training, and quantum field manipulation that modern science is only beginning to understand. The first stage involved was developing what ancient practitioners called void sight, the ability to perceive the energetic remnants of realities that have completed their existential cycles. This requires intensive meditation practice focused on expanding awareness beyond the boundaries of current space-time to encompass the broader dimensional matrix where multiple realities exist in various stages of evolution and dissolution. Practitioners learn to identify the specific frequency signatures that indicate a reality in its final phases, recognizable by the distinctive harmonic patterns that emerge as a dimensional thread approaches its omega point. These frequencies manifest as subtle oscillations in the quantum field that can be detected through properly calibrated consciousness, but remain invisible to conventional instruments. The second stage involves learning to establish energetic resonance with these dissolving realities, creating what the texts describe as sympathetic bridges that allow consciousness to interface directly with the accumulated life force of the dying world. This process requires developing extraordinary sensitivity to quantum field fluctuations and learning to modulate one's own bioelectric field to match the specific resonance patterns of the target reality. Advanced practitioners report being able to perceive vast libraries of accumulated experience, emotion, and consciousness that exist in suspended animation within the Thanatos energy streams, waiting to be accessed by properly attuned awareness. The third stage involves the actual harvesting process, where consciousness learns to draw upon these energy reserves to enhance its own vitality, psychic abilities, and spiritual development, while simultaneously serving as a conduit to channel beneficial energies into the current reality stream for the benefit of other beings. The most accomplished harvesters develop the ability to establish permanent energetic connections to multiple dissolving realities, creating a continuous flow of Thanatos energy that can be directed toward healing, consciousness expansion, and reality transformation projects. The ancient Lemurian civilization achieved mastery of Thanatos energy, harvesting through the construction of massive crystalline complexes that functioned as interdimensional power plants, capable of channeling the accumulated life force of entire dissolved reality streams into their current dimensional matrix. Archaeological evidence suggests these installations operated on principles that modern quantum physics is only now beginning to understand, using crystalline structures arranged in specific geometric patterns to create resonance fields that could penetrate the barriers between parallel dimensions. The Lemurians understood that consciousness itself is the most sophisticated energy harvesting technology ever developed, capable of interfacing directly with the quantum field structures that carry Thanatos energy between realities. Their crystal matrices served as amplification systems that could enhance the natural harvesting abilities of trained consciousness operators, allowing them to access energy streams from realities that had completed their evolutionary cycles thousands or even millions of years ago. These ancient power plants explain the extraordinary achievements of pre-flood civilizations, which appear to have had access to energy sources far beyond anything available through conventional means. The technology operated through what the texts describe as temporal energy arbitrage, the practice of borrowing life force from the accumulated wealth of completed realities and investing it in the current reality stream to accelerate evolutionary development in consciousness expansion. Modern energy harvesting, research that reports exponential energy gains through repetitive system reconfigurations, is unknowingly recreating fragments of this ancient technology, achieving brief moments of synchronization with Thanatos energy streams through mechanical processes that approximate the consciousness-based interfaces developed by the Lemurians. The key insight is that the quantum field itself serves as a vast repository of accumulated life force from all realities that have ever existed and completed their evolutionary journeys, creating an infinite resource that can be accessed through properly calibrated consciousness and appropriate technological interfaces. The metaphysical implications of Thanatos energy harvesting extend far beyond mere technological applications to encompass fundamental questions about the nature of consciousness, reality, and the evolutionary purpose of existence itself. When we consider that every moment of experience, every emotion felt, every insight gained, and every act of love expressed in countless parallel realities becomes available as harvestable energy after those realities conclude their evolutionary cycles, we begin to understand that nothing is ever truly lost or wasted in the cosmic economy of consciousness. The ancient sages who developed these harvesting technologies understood that individual realities are like cells in a vast cosmic organism, each contributing its unique experiences and accumulated wisdom to a universal consciousness that transcends any single dimensional stream. The energy we harvest from completed realities represents the distilled essence of all the growth, learning, and spiritual development that occurred within those worlds during their entire existential cycles. This explains why practitioners who successfully tap into Thanatos energy streams report not just increased vitality, but also sudden downloads of knowledge, wisdom, and spiritual insights that seem to come from beyond their personal experience. They are accessing the accumulated consciousness of entire civilizations that have completed their evolutionary journeys and transformed their essence into pure energy, patterns within the quantum field. The harvesting process creates a form of cosmic recycling where the accumulated achievements of one reality become the fuel for accelerated development in another, ensuring that the universe continues to evolve toward ever greater levels of consciousness and complexity. This understanding transforms death from a tragedy into a graduation ceremony, where the accumulated life force of completed realities becomes available to support the ongoing evolution of consciousness throughout the infinite dimensions of existence. Modern quantum research into energy teleportation and zero-point field manipulation is unconsciously rediscovering these ancient principles, proving that consciousness and energy are fundamentally interconnected in ways that conventional science is only beginning to comprehend. The practical applications of Thanatos energy harvesting technology extend into healing, consciousness expansion, and reality transformation. Projects that could revolutionize human civilization if properly understood and implemented. Medical researchers working with energy harvesting principles report unexplained healing accelerations in patients exposed to quantum field manipulation devices, suggesting that properly channeled Thanatos energy can repair physical, emotional, and mental imbalances by providing the vital force needed for cellular regeneration and consciousness integration. Spiritual practitioners who develop sensitivity to these energy streams find that their meditation practices become exponentially more powerful as they learn to draw upon the accumulated spiritual achievements of enlightened beings from completed realities to accelerate their own consciousness development. Artists, inventors, and creative visionaries who unconsciously tap into Thanatos energy flows report breakthrough inspirations and innovative ideas that seem to emerge from beyond their personal knowledge base, suggesting that they are accessing the creative achievements of entire civilizations that have transcended physical existence. The technology also has profound implications for addressing the environmental and energy crises facing modern civilization, as properly designed harvesting systems could provide virtually unlimited clean energy by tapping into the inexhaustible reservoir of accumulated life force within the quantum field. The key to implementing these technologies lies in developing educational programs that combine consciousness training with quantum field manipulation techniques, creating a new generation of practitioners who can serve as living interfaces between current reality and the vast library of accumulated wisdom and energy from completed dimensional stream. Sacred sites around the world that were originally designed as Thanatos energy harvesting installations could be reactivated using modern understanding combined with ancient wisdom, creating a planetary network of consciousness energy distribution points that could support the rapid evolution of human awareness toward more enlightened states of being. The ultimate goal is not merely to harvest energy from dead realities, but to create a cosmic communication system that allows consciousness in active realities to learn from and be inspired by the accumulated achievements of all realities that have ever existed, creating an infinite spiral of evolutionary development that transcends the limitations of any single dimensional stream. As our journey through the hidden dimensions of energy harvesting draws to a close, feel the subtle shift in your awareness, the gentle opening of perception that occurs when consciousness touches the infinite reservoir of life force that surrounds us in every moment. You have been initiated into ancient secrets that bridge the gap between cutting-edge science and timeless wisdom, revealing that death is merely transformation and that the accumulated essence of countless realities flows eternally through the quantum field, waiting to be harvested by properly attuned consciousness. Remember that you are not merely a passive observer of these cosmic processes, but an active participant in the grand dance of energy exchange that connects all realities across all dimensions of existence. Continue your exploration of these mysteries, dear seekers, and may your growing awareness become a beacon that attracts ever more profound revelations from the infinite library of dissolved worlds that surrounds our current reality.